Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the MindShare Podcast. This is where we cut through the noise, say the things that need to be said, and give you real strategies to help you work smarter, build MindShare, and grow a business that actually makes money. This is episode number 343. And today we're smashing a seasonal myth, the idea that summer is a slow season in real estate. Because let me be clear, the only thing slow right now is your mindset. Let's get into it. All right, let's start us off here. You know, these summer excuses, and I got to tell you, I hate excuses. I know I said this one for sure. But I got this one particular guy that I know that I've coached baseball with over the years. Couldn't stand coaching with this guy, straight up, just couldn't. He knows it. He totally knows it. And anyways, bottom line is, anything you would say to this guy, he'd always have an excuse. Now, to him, it was a reason. And this is what I've told you before. Your reasons could simply sound like excuses to other people. And when you're full of excuses, that's all we ever expect from people. I mean, even from this guy right here, like I brought something up that happened in a game a number of years back, just as an example in something that was going on this past weekend, when we were at some games. And I brought it up in a joking way, just sort of like bringing it up because something similar had happened. And again, this guy came up with even more excuses to why that happened. It's like, dude, that wasn't even the reason we brought it up. Just trying to make comment about whatever. I wasn't even trying to poke. There was no, cheap shots there, nothing. It was just a very similar situation. Anyways, my point is, wow, little rant off the top of today's show, eh? My point is, this guy's loaded with excuses. And every single time I think of the word excuse, I think of this guy. Can you imagine being that guy? Anyways, summer excuses. I mean, call it what it is. Most people, maybe we're all guilty of it to some point, but most people will use summer as an excuse. An excuse to just sort of coast along. I could sleep in. I don't have to work as hard. We're going to take some time and we're going to go and relax. And don't get me wrong, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, I wish I could do that every single day of my life. Really do. And of course, when it comes to summertime, I'd like to just be on the road riding and not having to worry about anything. And I'd just ride to baseball and go to another baseball. And I mean, seriously, when it comes to baseball, that's all we do these days. Riding really has taken a back seat, unfortunately. Now it'd be cool if I could stick the guy, Joshua, my son, on the back seat, stick his gear on the back, but I don't even know how that would work. But anyways, are you using summer as an excuse to coast? Seriously, you hear it everywhere. Everybody's on vacation. Nothing's happening in July. Especially when it comes to the real estate market, people aren't listing their homes. Nobody's buying. But the truth is, realistically, when we look at it, the truth is transactions are still happening. People are still buying. People are still selling. I mean, things are still going on in the marketplace. We are in a trickier market. Yes, things are quieter than maybe, they're definitely quieter than what everybody wants. But things are still happening. And oftentimes, leading into the real estate market, we think about this, the lead up to the spring market. And I'll tell everybody, the lead up to the spring market is what you do when it comes to the months of January, February. I'll even argue November and December. Lead up, right? Lead up. It's like any game, any race, any competition. You can't just get there, wait for them to fire the gun or blow the whistle or cut the ribbon or whatever, and say, I'm just going to go. We got to lead up. We got to practice. We got to get prepared. We got to warm up. We got to be mentally ready. We got to be physically ready. It's like farmers. They don't just get to the good weather and say, okay, that's it. It's time to, grow some apples. Those seeds are planted months ahead of time. They need time to grow. Those seeds, they need time to mature. They need time to produce fruit. So why is our business any different? Why do we think that we can take 30, 60 days off in the summertime just to go and enjoy, and that spring market, or pardon me, the fall market will just all of a sudden be amazing? right? Like I just referenced the spring and saying November, December, January, February. That's your lead up to spring. Well, if you think about fall, what have you got? July and August and into September, you're already into it. Look, this is about the seeds you planted months ago. And so this moment right here, if your mind is thinking, okay, yeah, spring market wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be, fall market's going to be better for me. Well, the question is, what are you doing right now? Okay, have you slowed down? Are you using summertime as an excuse to coast? Like, you got to know something. When you think to yourself, like, things aren't going the way I want them to, remember this. It's not the markets that slowed down. It's you. So, I mean, seriously, think about this, right? When we look at summertime and we think, what's actually happening in the summer? Yeah, there's definitely seasonality to it, right? There's definitely like a mindset across the board. Never mind just in the industry, but like across the board with anybody. We're going to take some time. We're going to go vacation. We're going to go just enjoy the outdoor weather. But again, buyers and sellers aren't disappearing. They haven't. Remember this, right? You got people that are going to new schools when it comes to September. So people are relocating right now. It's happening now. They're making their plans now. They want to move, say, sometime in the middle of July or sometime in August. Like, it's not in September when they want to do it. Remember that. And if you've got kids, older kids especially, that have gone to university, you know what the timing looks like in the summertime. Think about that. Kids moving from elementary to high school. Think about it. Job transfers. Again, September is that reset month when it comes like off of the summer lulls. And I get it. Like, listen, I know where your head is at. I know where my head is at. I know where all of our heads are at. But I'm also trying to say is that's where most people's heads are at. And what do we usually talk about when it comes to most people? I don't want to be most people. Do you? So think about it. If September's a reset time, people are getting new jobs. Their moves are happening in the summer. I mean, I don't think there's a timing to things like divorce, but I think it happens, obviously. Never mind downsizing, upsizing, and downsizing. I mean, people are making moves. Like, life doesn't just stop because the sun is shining and the weather's hot. And neither should your lead generation. Neither should everything you're doing and need to do to grow your business. None of that should stop. Your non-negotiables, following up, making your phone calls to your contact list, checking in with people. Hey, how's the summer? What are you guys up to? Think of forward, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. How's the family doing? What are you guys doing to keep busy this summer? How's work doing? You guys still as busy this summer? Going anywhere exciting? Got anything big coming up maybe in the holiday season after the summertime? Just make conversation. But you make those calls. You touch base with those people because it's those people that at some point are going to turn around and probably lean on you when it comes to wanting to make a move, whether it's this year, next year, or a few years from now. Those IPAs, right? Those income-producing activities cannot stop. And I'm a big believer that as long as you get those IPAs done each and every single day and you can find time still to go and enjoy the weather, go enjoy the weather. Go take your time. But no excuses. There is no reason not to be making your phone calls. There is no reason not to be connecting with people. There is no reason not to be prospecting. There's no reason to lose any of your consistency. Because when you do, what will actually happen is you'll be resetting each and every single time. Remember, again, life doesn't stop. So do this. Do a quick little audit for yourself, okay? What have you been up to daily to attract business? Ask yourself that over the past 5 days, 10 days. And I'm not using 7 and 14 because, again, as we talk about summer lulls and we know weekends are real, whether you worked on the weekend or not, I'm giving you this grace of 2 days per week. I don't care which 2 days they are. But out of the past 14 days, can you say that you used 10 of those to attract new business. We're not talking all day, every day, right? Remember that too. This isn't about doing it every day, all day. But this is about doing it for a few minutes a day where you're going to get those few phone calls that need to be had to your contact list in. Where you're going to spend an hour to 2 hours prospecting to try to find new opportunities. Where you're going to make sure that you check into your inbox and respond to people. And you go into your social media and you don't just post and scroll, but you actually engage with other people. Make conversation. I mean, how many conversations have you had this past week? This past 10 days? How many conversations? And for those people that you did have a conversation with, whether it was at an open house, a door knock, a DM, an inquiry, a referral, have you been following up? Or are you making an excuse in your mind that, hey, it's summertime, they don't want to do this right now? Or they told me that they're going to take some time on vacation. They told me let's revisit this in August. I'm not waiting until August. I want to check back in July. Hey, how's it going? Keep those lines open. Keep that fire burning. Keep stoking that thing. So are you following up? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Or are you just coasting right now, thinking, hey, everybody else is, so I'm going to do it too? Sorry, most people are, so I want to be most people. Think about how silly that sounds. You and I both know most people don't achieve. You and I know most people aren't doing the amount of business that they want to be doing or that you want to be doing. So what are we talking about here? You got to focus on you. You got to focus on what you have to do. So the question is, are you doing it? All right, let's take a quick commercial break here. This episode is brought to you by Kit's Keep in Touch Systems, your ultimate marketing and lead generation CRM. REM Real Estate Magazine, your trusted source for Canadian real estate news. And Revel Realty, bold marketing, cutting-edge training, and a powerful culture of success. Don't forget, we've got the MindShare Mastermind coming up on September 15th and 17th here in Toronto. Seats are filling fast. In fact, we've got like a handful of seats left. Here's, just some real quick highlights of what you get, but some live coaching. You get some huge breakthroughs because you're in a room of like-minded people who are going to be talking about problems and challenges and helping you solve yours right then and there. You're going to be in a powerful room full of professionals who have been walking in the same shoes as you, going through a lot of the same struggles you have. Maybe they've already been there. Maybe they're going through it right now. But being able to collaborate with these amazing minds, it makes you a next level of you. And plus, you get 30 days of free group coaching to our MindShare Collective, and you get a free Explore call for one-to-one coaching with me after the event, so we can break down what you learned, talk about some action steps, and make sure that you're going to make the most of the time that you spent there. This is loaded with value. Go to mindshare101.com, reserve your spot, and do it right now. All right. Let's keep going here with this episode today. Now, we talk about going through the summer excuses and what actually happens and where people's mindsets are, but let's talk about having a plan now, right? Because it's nice for, to talk about the problems and set the stage, but we want to plan, right? We want a domination plan for summer. Like, how are we going to dominate these summer months to make sure we're doing the most that we can? Well, there's a few things we need to double down on. Okay, when we do this is where we differentiate ourselves from most people. Okay? And some of these things you're going to say, man, it's like you say this to me all the time. Uh-huh. That was my American accent right there. To all my American listeners, thank you for tuning in to this show that is north of the border. But I know that you're tuning in because you're learning a whole bunch of stuff. And, well, that's what happens when you get a podcast that is kicking ass when it comes to teaching realtors, mortgage brokers, anybody in the real estate space, anybody in the entrepreneurial space how to go next level. So here's what to double down on, okay? The first one here is, and this is super obvious, Re-engage. And I even hate saying re-engage because it's almost like, well, hold on. If I'm saying re-engage, it means you stopped engaging. But we're going to be real about that. We're going to get you to think about that. And the idea here is re-engage your database. Okay? When was the last time you were sending out little voice notes to people? Hey, how's it going? Hope summer's good. And again, we just talked about that a few moments ago, right? When was the last time you sent out DMs? Like, how many DMs did you send yesterday? 2, 3, 4, 5? 10? 0? See, direct messages, if you think about it, when you get into an Instagram or a social, whatever platform you like to be on, when you get in there and somebody's posting and they're posting one to many, but you slide into a DM and you send them a personal message, say, "Oh my God, that boat ride looked amazing," or "Where did you go for those ice creams?" or whatever. Okay, how was the vacation? When you slide in from a one to many post, which is a big, I posted this to my Instagram, but then you DM. Now it's a one to one, and at some point the person on the other end is going to see that message from you. Now, most people just don't respond. I think that's just ridiculous. You got to respond. Doesn't have to be immediately, but you got to respond. You don't ghost people. If people made the time to message you and they're people you know, then respond. Okay, but DMs. Think about how simple. You don't even have to get dressed to do that stuff. Like, come on, no excuses here. I know, whatever. You get it though. Okay. Like, seriously, nobody can see you. My point is, you don't have to get all mentally prepared for this. You see a post that you know the person and there's something good about it, slide into the DM and ask them a question. Make it open-ended. Make them respond as opposed to yes or no. And when they do, ask another question. Make conversation. So we think about your database. Things like voice notes are impactful. Hey, just wanted to touch base, been a little bit, thought I'd say hi, hope everybody's doing well, and, hey, give me a call sometime. Or what are you guys doing for the summer? Right? DMs. Hey, that looked great. Where'd you guys get that? Or how was it? Text messages. Again, one-to-one. A very one-to-one communication channel. Okay? So when you think about the voice notes, the DMs, and the text, and we talk about asking questions, we talk about making it personal, you'll get people on the other end who are going to respond to you. They're going to re-engage. They're going to engage with you. And it doesn't mean you need to ask the question about real estate. You don't need to ask them if they're planning to make a move. Now, if you're taking really good notes and you're really diligent with your CRM, which you very much should be, and if you're using the 10-year plan that we teach you when you go through MindShare one-on-one coaching and training, then you've got a bulletproof follow-up system that's going to remind you exactly who to follow up with and when. And that you're going to have notes about your previous conversations so you know where are you at with that person. Maybe there's been so much personal conversation that this conversation really is a follow-up to see if they're ready to make that move. But maybe there hasn't been enough personal stuff, and therefore, before we get into business, we need to go personal. So leverage the opportunity to touch base with a few people in your database on a regular basis and do it through a one-to-one conversation, be it a phone call, a voice note, a direct message, a text message. Get there personally. Do not simply rely on it. I'm not telling you not to have them, but do not simply rely on your one-to-many messages through your email newsletters, your direct mail newsletters, your any of your big advertising out there, your social media posts. Those are all one-to-many. Remember that. We want to go through one-to-one because that's where you're going to get the replies that you're looking for. It's like when you send an email blast, okay, here. When you send an email blast, you put it out there and nobody gets back to you. Again, remember something. That was a one-to-many message. I know it was a one-to-many message, so nothing's really provoking me, prompting me to reply. Now, in saying that, when you use the proper HVC, hook, value, call to action, because of that call to action, you very much could get somebody responding to you. In this case, though, I'm going to put that aside. The one-to-many doesn't necessarily provoke a response. The one-to-one does. So again, when we talk about this plan, the first step here is re-engage your database. There's your lowest hanging fruit. You know it and I know it. The next one here. Think about creating a campaign, a summer campaign. Just like we see the big box stores do, and we see, all the back to school stuff happening, and the minute school comes back, it's into Halloween, and the minute Halloween's done, we're into Christmas, the minute Christmas is done, we're into, Valentine's Day, and so on and so on and so on, right? You get what I'm saying? So think about it. It could be something like, and look, I'm going to use the word gimmick. Okay, it could be a little gimmicky here. Because at the end of the day, it's buying and selling real estate. But if you thought about something like a backyard upgrade seller's guide, right? What you could do is you could put together a guide. It's not necessarily evergreen, but people in the summertime like to work on their backyards. They like to create nice spaces to hang out in. So maybe you give them some tips on how to upgrade. And maybe if they're planning to sell, what are some of the things that their backyard requires in order to really show properly? Maybe it's like a summer move checklist. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the backyard necessarily, but maybe it's like, hey, if you're planning to move, here's some of the things to know. How about like a buy now, be in before school starts kind of thing? Remember, take a page out of the big brands and how they advertise to us as consumers, and think about a spin on that through your marketing. Now, I will say to you this, okay, in being very straightforward on this, you're listening to this episode in the month of July, and hey, if you're listening to it later on, I thank you for going back in time here. You're learning something no matter what month of the year you're listening to this thing in. But my point to you is, when we think about preparation, the reality is this part right here with the summer campaign, this is something that should have been thought through more in the months of, say, March and April. This way, come, kind of June, now you start to launch this thing, but it's been so well prepared. You've got the mailers, you've got the emailers, you've got the social media, you've even maybe created something on the website. Maybe the landing page you set up, which very much should be. If there's a free guide that they could download, it's got that branding towards it about how it's a summer move checklist or a buy now before school starts kind of thing. This is about pre-planning. There's a bigger conversation around your content calendar and your work back schedule, which again, when you go through coaching and training, you learn all about this, which allows for complete consistency, less stress, more reward. I mean, it's all about plan and preparation. It's about systems and processes. And when you got them, you want to talk about taking time to enjoy the summer? Oh, hell yeah. You can totally take the time. But we need the preparation. Now, I'm not saying you can't create the summer campaign right now, but I bring that up to you to say, we're taking a page of the big boxes, about the big companies. We're going to leverage that for us as these small businesses, and we're going to do something to trigger people's mindsets to get them thinking. So even though I just said to you, hey, do this, then I said to you, hey, it should have been done earlier in the year, it doesn't mean you can't do it now. Okay, so think about creating a summer campaign as part of your plan. Here's another part, okay, a third point here. Control your morning. So when you control your morning, you win your day. It's that simple. See, summer has a really, really, summer messes with routines, right? Like if you got kids, the kids aren't in school. Maybe they're in camp. Maybe they're away for camp. Maybe they're not. But it's not the same, get up and go kind of thing where everybody's on this clock and where the buses are picking kids up at a certain time or traffic's going to be, this heavy at a certain time. I mean, of course, you got your rush hour times, but we all know that when the kids aren't in school, the flow of the traffic changes. People's mindsets change. The way they operate with their routines changes. But you can't afford to sleep in on your business. You just can't. And if you do want to go and enjoy this today, this week, this month, this summer, that there's got to be a moment where you get the stuff done that you actually need to get done. It's got to happen. And when you can find that discipline, when you have that discipline, now you're getting the successes that you want. And there's the fine balance. That's the one that most people cannot really get in control. Once summertime hits and the routine is broken, the routine is broken. Then they fly by the seat of their pants. They try to get a few things done. Then they go off and they enjoy. But then there comes this point where, again, most people sit back and say to themselves, well, what's going on? Why don't I have? Well, remember something. You took a break. You didn't have a system and a process. You didn't follow a routine. You didn't stay disciplined to what you know you needed to do. And I'll tell you straight, and you know it if you know me, or if you follow. I'm at baseball diamonds every weekend, okay? And we're talking like we get there on, and we're traveling a ton, so, potentially we're leaving on a Friday or even a Thursday. I mean, this past week, we took off on a Thursday morning. We just got back on Sunday evening. Gone. Now, am I still getting up and doing some work? Yeah. Am I making my phone calls? Not necessarily, but I might be during weekend hours. But I'm still doing all the other things that need to be done between email and social and the DMs and the connection points. Not disappearing. I also know that I've got to run my businesses, so there's things that need to happen, communication that needs to happen with my team. But is all of that I'm on the ball for, and all of that I can sneak in and get out of the way before I get into the craziness of the day. Say if it's a baseball, we're sort of on the road for a series or we're out for a tournament. I can be in control of my day, and I can also sit back and completely enjoy watching my son and his team play ball because I know that my mind is at ease because I've done the things I needed to do. So again, summer will mess with routines, but like I said, you can't afford to sleep in on your business. So simply lock in 2 hours a day of like proactive outreach. Okay, like minimum 2 hours. But 2 hours in the grand scheme of a day? Come on, we can't? That's 10 hours a week. 14 if you want to go 7 days. It's not 40 even. It's not even a part-time job. So don't tell me it's impossible. And especially as a business owner, straight up, we don't have a choice. We have to get these things done. Okay, so again, control your morning and you will win your day. What needs to happen is your non-negotiables, which we've talked about many times before, that you can get out of the way before you go and enjoy. Now, I'll throw one more in here, okay? A fourth. Call it host something. Okay, like think about like an ice cream truck event. I got one buddy of mine who I've talked about many times before. He is a absolute master at hosting events for the community. Ice cream truck, barbecue, a local workshop, some activity for the kids, bouncy castles. Give people a reason to show up, and you will build positive mindshare. See, the more you can be out there talking about, hey, we're doing this, and everybody come out and have some fun, the more you give, the more you will receive. But if you don't give, don't expect to receive. So again, give people a reason to show up. It's you staying top of mind. It's you building that mind share. And we know that the mind share equals the market share. Now again, we're sitting here at some point in July, you're listening to this, and you might be thinking to yourself, oh man, is it too late? No. Go ahead and get it done. Like let's say you wanted to do an ice cream truck. Could you pull this thing together in say 2 weeks? 1,000,000%. Pick up the phone today, call a few ice cream trucks, find out what it's going to cost to have them come to a park for a couple of hours. Once you know the cost and you understand whether, you can pull it off or not, now you can start to flyer the neighborhood. Hey, we're doing an ice cream truck. This is when it's going to happen. It's free ice cream for all the kids, whatever. You put it at a busy park. And one of the things I might do is do some recon on like, when is the park around the corner, like usually the busiest? Oh, it's usually on Saturdays around 11 o'clock because all the kids go to the park. Okay, great. There's the timing. We try it. Remember, the path to success is loaded with failure, loaded with learning, loaded with trying. So try, fail, learn. Try, fail, learn. Try, fail, learn. Next thing you know, though, we just climbed a set of stairs and we're moving our ways towards success. Because if you don't try, you're never going to learn. And we know that we get a ton of learning from failure. So failure is, has a negative connotation to it, but is it really a negative? And as much as you're nodding your head right now, I don't want to fail. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The more you fail, the more you learn. And as long as you keep trying, you will get to that place that you want to get to. Same thing when you started walking, talking, swimming, riding a bicycle. Just didn't pan out the first time around. So you try something like this. You pick a date. You figure out, the ice cream truck. Let's just stay with that one for a second. You put out some promotion throughout the neighborhood, and you see if you can round up people. And the promotion will include flyer drops and door knocks. Hell, I'll go out to the local shops and collaborate with those people. Hey, put your logo on here, promote that you're, sponsoring this thing. It's not going to cost you $1. I just need you to hand out some flyers to people at the cash register. Yeah, done, we're in. Just bring people by. While you're there, you hand out the free ice cream. Don't be asking people if they want to buy or sell, but your signage is there. They know that you're there, and it's part of your bigger marketing strategy of how you're building the mind share. So again, we think about a plan to dominate the summer. Okay, and I'm not saying don't go enjoy. Absolutely. And you know my game here, right? Play hard, then work hard. So think about it. Re-engage your database. Think about creating some sort of campaign for the summer. Have a proper routine. Control your morning. And think about hosting something. Look, while everyone else is like totally quiet right now, well, as quiet as they are, when you speak up, your voice is going to be that much louder. People are going to hear you. They're going to see you. Again, that's you building mindshare. I know you can hear those little sips of coffee. You know what's going on here. Anyways. All right. Last section here. Last sort of idea. Last thought process here. Because look, we're talking about why the slow summer real estate market is just totally BS. And I'm trying to get into your mind about what to do instead. Okay? Because again, is it slow? No, I think you're just slow. I think people's mindsets are slow. And that's why what we're trying to do, and what I want to do right now, is reframe that mindset. Okay? Instead of saying, summer's slow, start asking, where are the opportunities? And I want you to think about that right now as I ask you that. Where are the opportunities? I want you to ask yourself, who needs help right now? Do you even know? See, again, if you're doing the bulletproof follow-up plan, one thing you know is that you've got a few people that are popping up every single day in your calendar that it's saying, hey, touch base with this person. And if you're doing the plan properly, you've got a whole bunch of notes about the conversations you had with those people, and you're able to see who needs help right now. And ask yourself this. What actions can I take today that are going to help me generate a new win? Okay, so what actions can I take today that are going to help me generate a win? Look, momentum, mindshare, momentum. Here, let's take that. Momentum is not seasonal. It's self-made. It's up to you. It's your discipline. It's how you choose to spend your time. So although the summer lulls can come in and everybody can start taking breaks and having, excuses or going on vacations and these things are happening, yeah, it might make your job a little bit tougher to go out and find the business that you want. But remember, if you keep the momentum going, if you keep doing the things you need to be doing, all while getting in the fun and the enjoyment, and it's all very possible. So let's not BS ourselves here and come up with excuses, because yes, it is. But if you keep it going, it will keep coming. It's the moment you stop, not when the market stops, not when other people stop, not when they go on vacation. It's when you stop that you lose your momentum. So don't be a sheeple. Don't follow in everybody else's footsteps. Don't just do what they're doing because they're doing it. No matter what they're doing, you keep your blinders on. You keep doing you. Again, for the millionth time today, yes, find time to enjoy. Absolutely. But find time to keep things going. Find time to keep your momentum going, no matter what. And you will prep yourself to have a very busy fall season. So, here's this summer strategy for us, okay? We're going to stop waiting for the market. We're going to show up with purpose. We're going to reconnect with our people. We're going to launch a campaign. And we're going to stick to our damn routine. Because the real reason some agents slow down in the summer is because they choose to. But you're choosing to step up right now. So let's go. You've been listening to the MindShare Podcast, whether it's on your favorite platform or directly from my website. Get your free Ultimate Marketing Bundle at mindshare101.com and check out one-to-one coaching, the MindShare Collective Group Coaching, and Momentum Training. And do not forget, grab your seat for this year's MindShare Mastermind happening in Toronto on September 15th to the 17th. It is going to be an amazing event. Want to know more? Want to get in touch? Want to talk? Follow me at David Greenspan 101 on Instagram. Send me a DM. Let me know what campaign you're launching this summer. And until next time, keep building MindShare because that's how you get more market share. Thanks to Kits, Rem, and Revel Realty for sponsoring this episode. This has been another episode of the MindShare Podcast. Thank you for tuning in.